actually was having this conversation with my coach this past week that how many times do people who are, starting something new, like even the creative industry, the social media, influencer marketing, content creators, bloggers and influencers, like they also don't get the credit that they're supposed to get in today's world as we are in. Of course, they are 10 times, like in the past 10 years, the weight in the industry, their authority, their desirability has absolutely increased. But what happens is that a lot of times things that are not known become very unassuming. Things that are not known, people get confused on, and they also sometimes tune out. And so it's frustrating because when you're not talking to your audience, your target market, and you're just talking to some people who may not be a part of your target market, but hey, I'm meeting you at a dinner or a gala or something, and you share with them your elevator pitch because that's the quick way to talk about yourself. They sometimes have this very glaze over their eyes and they're just trying to figure out what you just said. And so sometimes I know that can actually feel intimidating. That can also feel like, what am I doing? Like you're questioning, self-doubt starts popping up again, or you're questioning your decision-making process and all that stuff. And I want to encourage you with a couple of things. Keeping in mind the I told you so's and the people who don't understand, or the people that are going to ask you 1,001 questions more because they just don't understand. And then ultimately be like, so you don't work for XYZ company or a law firm or something like that. I encourage you, number one, to know who you are. Know who you are. Know whose you are and who you are. Know that the dreams in your heart are there placed for a reason. They're not just randomly placed there. You're not randomly selected. It's not a happenstance. It's not a coincidence. It is very intentionally placed in your heart for a reason. You are equipped. You are empowered. You are enough. You are capable. And once we start saying this to ourselves, because it is true, not because we are living in some la la land, but it is true, we will also start seeing it happening in our life, where you will be placed in situations where you will see that you are enough. And if you're not enough, you'll become enough in the sense of being ready for that situation. So know who you are. It's like what I tell my kids. If someone says that you have purple hair, does that mean you have purple hair? No. You know the color of your hair. You know how your hair is. So the other person can say whatever they want all day long, but you know who you are. So don't let anybody define you or define your goals or define your dreams, because they're not sitting in your heart. They're not sitting in your mind. They're not sitting in the visions that you have for yourself. So don't let anybody define that for you. And it's a process. It's not something that you just wake up and you're like, okay, I'm having somebody define me now, or, I know who I am. You have to very actively work on it. Actively say to yourself when someone says, oh, why do you think you can do that? Or that doesn't make sense. Or is that against the law? Or is that going to be allowed? Or the industry doesn't do this, whatever. Tackle it at that moment in time. Tackle it actively, intentionally. Either say your piece at the time, or in your mind, you're going to say, no, but I know. So silence can be very powerful as well. Like smile and nod and walk away. That can be very powerful. But tackle it at that moment. Tackle it in your head and in your actions as well. Another way to handle those mindsets of people around you and then your mindset is also to write it out. Is to have something that is with you that is tangible, that you can actually see your goals, whether it's a vision board, whether it's a journal, whether it's something that you can actually express in a way that makes sense to you, Trello board, whatever makes sense to you, write it out, put it in something else, put your thoughts onto something else so you see it. And it's now becoming something more than just something that's in your mind. And so those are ways to kind of actually see something. Now, when we're talking to others out there that are not our target market. Of course, we learned that with our target market, we need to speak the language that they're speaking. We should express our thoughts in a way that makes sense to them and use the words that they're using to express our marketing to them so they understand. But what about the people that don't understand and that aren't part of our target market? So, I feel that we need to create a message. If this is a recurring issue where you are meeting people constantly and they're just like a question mark every single time you share about what you do or how you do things, create a message that they would understand and where you can walk away feeling 1,000% amazing rather than feeling like, oh my goodness, what just happened? Because sometimes what happens is that when we don't have the right message, we are mumbling. We're not sounding confident. So half the time, that battle is not about them understanding, but it's the confidence that we feel internally when we are sharing or expressing. So create something, write something out. So instead of saying maybe that, oh, I'm an influencer, I'm a blogger, you can say I'm a content creator and a marketing strategist also. And I do that through my social media or in a way that not only your people who don't understand, but people who do understand will understand it also. But that way you are generating a communication from your end that is strong, that is effective, but that also will leave you feeling amazing. We need to feel confident. And so don't feel like you need to mumble through that. Absolutely not. Have that conversation with yourself, write it out if you need to, just the way we create our 60-second spiels about, our elevator pitches and things like that, 30 seconds. Same thing. Create something so that when you go out, it's easy to communicate, easy to understand, and you're really leaving with impact and powerful rather than feeling like, gosh, I just mumbled through that one again. So have something, create something where you're feeling confident because there's zero reason for you not to be confident about what you do. First of all, you're living a healthy living and you're creating a life that you are enjoying and loving, hopefully. And so why are we not feeling confident about that? Why can we not express it with the confidence that we need to express it with? Why can we not share it with the zeal and the passion that we might share it with our ideal client with? So create something that will help you stand there powerful, tall, courageous, and also super confident. Now, of course, words are great. I love words. As a lawyer, you love words and you become like a wordsmith also sometimes. But at the end of the day, your actions speak louder than your words. People don't need to understand all the time. That's not your job to make the person, especially who's not your ideal client, understand everything all the time. It's about you. And that's why creating that 30-second elevator pitch is not for them to understand only, but it's also more so for you to walk away with confidence. And of course, the byproduct consequences would be that A, you're creating authority in what you are doing, whether it's disrupting or whether it's just a little bit of a pivot from what the industry does, but you're creating a space for yourself with authority, with lasting impact. And you're also, making people more aware of what you are doing as well. So you are bolstering your authority in the industry that you're working in, or even in something new that you are paving out. And so that is super helpful. And so those are some of the byproducts that come from, having that 30-second elevator pitch to people who are not your ideal clients, but you're sharing about what you do and who you are. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter because what will be more of an impact is your actions, and what the actions manifest will be what the impact will be. So eventually people who don't understand will understand and then wonder why they didn't get on the bandwagon beforehand, right? And so our actions are some of our most powerful tools in our tool belt. Following through with what we're supposed to be doing, leaving others feeling awesome and in a better place than when you met them the first time. creating a space for yourself and for others who are wanting to join in the community that you're creating. So the impact, your actions, the consequences of that is what will speak louder and what will be manifested far deeper than just the words that you are using. Because if we don't have actions backing our words, we don't have the full package out there. And we need the actions in order to make sure that the words make sense and the words stand tall and true.